Have you ever felt like your own mind is your biggest enemy? Marcus sat alone in his dark room, staring at his laptop screen. The startup competition results glowed back at him. 3 names. 3 winners. His name wasn't there. He closed his eyes and felt something break inside him. Not his heart. Something deeper. His belief in himself. Just 6 months earlier, everyone had called Marcus brilliant. His teachers said he was gifted. His parents believed he could achieve anything. Marcus himself had a burning dream, one that kept him awake at night with excitement. He wanted to build his own tech company and change the world through innovation. He had everything he needed: intelligence, resources, opportunity. But there was one enemy he couldn't defeat, an enemy that lived inside his own head: his mind. Marcus's mind was like a wild storm, constantly pulling him in 1,000 different directions. Every morning, he would wake up with fire in his chest, promising himself that today would be different. Today he would focus on learning to code, work on his business plan, and make real progress toward his dream. But within an hour, that fire would fade into smoke. His thumb would find Instagram, then TikTok, then YouTube. One video became 10. 10 became 50. I'll start in just 5 minutes. He would whisper to himself, knowing it was a lie even as he said it. 5 minutes became an hour. An hour became half the day. And before he knew it, another day had vanished into the void, leaving nothing behind but guilt and broken promises. His family would ask, "Marcus, how's your project coming along?" He would force a smile. "It's going well. I'm working on it." But deep inside, he felt like a fraud. He wasn't working on anything. He was just existing, drifting through days like a ghost, watching his dreams slip further away with each wasted hour. Marcus had convinced himself that he didn't need discipline like other people. He believed that truly talented people could succeed whenever they wanted. "When the time is right, I'll do it," he would say. "When I feel inspired, everything will flow naturally." He was waiting for a magical moment that would never come. Then came the moment that shattered everything. The prestigious startup competition. The one that offered funding, mentorship, and the chance to actually launch his business. He had known about it for 3 whole months. 90 days to prepare a pitch, to work on his idea, to create something meaningful. 90 days that he had burned through like tissue paper. The night before the deadline, panic seized his chest. He tried to put something together, his fingers flying across the keyboard until 4 a.m., his eyes burning, his heart racing. But it was too late. What he submitted was incomplete, rushed, a shadow of what he was capable of creating. When the finalists were announced, Marcus read the 3 names over and over, as if staring long enough would make his appear. But it didn't. The winners were people he knew, people who weren't smarter than him, people who had the same opportunities. The difference? They had done the work. They had shown up every single day while he had scrolled and dreamed and waited for inspiration that never came. That evening, alone in his room, Marcus felt something he had never felt before. Not sadness, not anger, something worse. Shame. Deep, crushing shame. A tear rolled down his cheek, then another. He wasn't crying because he lost. He was crying because he had beaten himself. In that moment, staring at his reflection in the dark screen, he realized a truth that cut through him like ice. Talent without discipline is like a car without fuel. It looks impressive sitting in the driveway, but it won't take you anywhere. For the first time in his life, Marcus understood. The world wasn't holding him back. Circumstances weren't stopping him. He was stopping himself. He was his own worst enemy. But something else happened in that moment of complete breakdown. A spark, a decision, a line drawn in the sand of his life. "Never again," he whispered to the darkness. "Never again." The next morning, Marcus didn't just want to change. He needed to. But he knew motivation wasn't enough. He had been motivated 1,000 times before. Motivation fades. He needed something permanent. He needed to learn how to control his own mind. After asking around, he found Mr. Chun, a retired military officer who now worked as a life coach. People whispered about him with respect. They said he had a unique way of training people's minds. Athletes, students, business people, all had walked into his office broken and walked out transformed. Marcus went to him with nothing left to lose. He sat across from Mr. Chun and poured everything out. His dreams, his failures, his complete inability to focus, the way his mind betrayed him every single day. When he finished, he looked at Mr. Chun desperately. How do I fix this? How do I stop my mind from sabotaging me? Mr. Chun studied him for a long moment. Then he stood up. Come with me. I want to show you something. He led Marcus to a quiet garden behind his office. In the center sat a small pond, its water crystal clear and perfectly still. Mr. Chun picked up a stone and handed it to Marcus. Throw this into the water. Tell me what you see. Marcus threw the stone. It broke the surface with a splash, and ripples exploded outward, spreading across the entire pond, disturbing the perfect stillness. Mr. Chin's voice was quiet but piercing. Your mind is like this pond. Every distraction, every notification, every random thought is a stone being thrown into it. The ripples never stop. Your mind never finds peace. And Marcus, in disturbed water, you can never see clearly. You can't see your path. You can't see your reflection. You can't see the truth. They stood in silence. Marcus watched, mesmerized, as slowly, gradually, the ripples began to fade. The chaos settled. The water became still again, perfectly reflecting the sky above like a mirror. This, Mr. Chin said, pointing at the calm water, is what discipline does. It doesn't happen instantly. But if you stop throwing stones, if you protect the stillness, your mind becomes clear. And only in that clarity can you see your true path. Marcus felt something shift inside him, like a locked door opening. But how? How do I actually do this? Mr. Chun turned to face him fully. I'm going to give you 5 principles. Not theories. Not philosophy. Practical weapons you'll use every single day. They're simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. If you commit to them for 90 days, if you protect them like your life depends on it, you won't recognize yourself by the end. Are you ready? Marcus nodded, his jaw tight. Yes. First principle, master your mornings. The first hour after you wake up is sacred ground. It's where battles are won or lost. Before you check your phone, before you consume anything, before the world gets its hands on you, spend 1 hour on what matters most. Your phone will wait. Instagram will wait. Your dream won't wait forever. Second principle, create sacred boundaries. Your phone and social media are tools, not masters. But right now, they own you. Decide specific times when you'll use them and make them disappear during focus time. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. Stop living in the gray zone where you're never fully present anywhere. Third principle, build the environment of success. Listen carefully, Marcus. Willpower is a lie. Your environment is everything. Remove every distraction from your workspace. Make it physically difficult to get distracted and physically easy to do the work. Put your phone in another room. Delete the apps that steal your time. If you have to work hard to waste time, you won't waste it. Fourth principle, track your progress with ruthless honesty. Every evening, write down what you actually accomplished and what distracted you. Don't lie to yourself. This awareness will burn at first, but it will transform you. You can't change what you refuse to see. Fifth principle, practice the power of now. Your mind is a time machine, always escaping to the past or future. Discipline means bringing it back to this moment, again and again. When you sit to work, be there completely. Feel the keyboard under your fingers. Hear your own breathing. Every time your mind wanders, and it will, bring it back gently. That's the practice. Mr. Chin leaned in close, his eyes locked on Marcus's. Here's what no one tells you. For the first 2 weeks, your mind will fight you like an animal in a cage. It will scream. It will tell you this is too hard, that you should quit, that you can start tomorrow. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die, Marcus. This is the test. Push through those 2 weeks, and you'll break free. Marcus left that day carrying something he hadn't felt in years. Not motivation, that cheap feeling that fades by evening. Something stronger. Commitment. Decision. the quiet certainty that his life was about to change. He started the very next morning. He woke up an hour earlier, before the sun, when the world was still quiet. He spent that first hour learning to code. No phone, no distractions, just him, his dream, and the sound of keys clicking in the silence. The first few days were torture. His mind screamed for relief. His fingers trembled, aching to grab his phone. Every few minutes, he would catch himself reaching for it, his body moving on autopilot. But he remembered Mr. Chen's words and pushed through. He created a workspace stripped bare. Nothing but his laptop and a notebook. He deleted Instagram and TikTok from his phone. He started tracking every hour in a journal, writing down his victories and failures in brutal honesty. Every time his mind wandered, and it wandered hundreds of times, he brought it back gently, just like Mr. Chen had taught him. Week 1 felt like climbing a mountain with broken legs. Week 2 was slightly less painful. By week 3, something miraculous began to happen. He started craving his focus time. His mind started to settle. The chaos quieted. He was accomplishing more in 2 focused hours than he used to in entire weeks of scattered, distracted effort. By week 8, he didn't recognize himself. He could sit for 4 hours straight, completely absorbed, his mind sharp and clear like that pond after the ripples had died. The apps he deleted? He didn't miss them. The phone that used to control him? It sat in another room, silent and powerless. 3 months after that dark night staring at the competition results, Marcus had built a working prototype of his app. He had a complete, professional business plan. He had learned skills he thought would take years to develop. When the next startup competition was announced, he didn't feel nervous. He felt ready. This time, his presentation was sharp, polished, powerful. When he pitched his idea, every word came from months of genuine work and deep preparation. He spoke with the confidence of someone who had done the work in silence while others had talked about doing it. The judges leaned forward. They asked questions. They took notes. They were impressed not just by his idea, but by the depth of execution he had already achieved. When they announced the winner, when his name echoed through the auditorium, Marcus felt something unexpected. Not excitement, not relief, gratitude. He walked to the stage, and as he held the award under the bright lights, he saw Mr. Chen standing in the back, a small smile on his face. In that moment, Marcus understood everything. The award wasn't a victory. The victory had happened 3 months earlier, alone in his room, when he decided to change. The victory was every morning he woke up early. Every time he chose focus over distraction. Every moment, he brought his wandering mind back to the present. He had learned the most important lesson anyone can learn. Your mind can be your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. The choice is always yours. Discipline isn't about punishing yourself. It's about training yourself to become the person your dreams need you to be. Later that night, Marcus returned to Mr. Chen's garden. He stood at the edge of the pond, watching the still water reflect the stars. He picked up a stone, then set it back down. He didn't need to throw it anymore. If you've ever felt like Marcus, if you're tired of being your own worst enemy, if you're ready to stop wasting your potential on distractions and finally become who you're meant to be, then understand this. The power to change is already inside you. It always has been. You just need to make one decision, then protect that decision with discipline, one day at a time. This video can change someone's life today. Share it. Let it reach the person who needs to see it. Subscribe to our channel because we're building something special here, a community of people who refuse to settle for less than they're capable of. I'll see you in the next story, and it's going to hit even harder than this one. Until then, stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember, your dreams are not waiting for the perfect moment. They're waiting for the disciplined version of you.